Hola, ¿cómo están? Espero que estén súper bien. Yo soy Estivalis y bienvenidos otra vez a mi canal. Si eres nuevo, no olvides suscribirte dando clic al botón rojo que está aquí abajito y a la campanita para que no te pierdas ningún video nuevo. Antes de empezar, les recuerdo que tengo Instagram, Twitter, Facebook y TikTok para que vayan a seguirme. También hago streams todos los días en Twitch, así que si les interesa, ahí los espero. Y también les recuerdo que ya está a la venta mi merch a través de la página de Instagram, @HeyEstee Shop. En el video de hoy vamos a ver la segunda parte de un caso que les encantó igual que a mí, y es el caso de Alex Calvo is Haunted. Si no han visto la primera parte, les voy a dejar el link en la descripción para que vayan a verla antes de ver este video. En el video anterior nos quedamos en que encuentra unos nombres, unas fechas y unas letras raras en el diario de su bisabuelo, y que al igual que nosotros tiene mucha curiosidad y quiere descubrir de qué se trata. El siguiente TikTok lo subió el 24 de agosto.
Okay, it's been a busy few days for me, so I'm just gonna get to it so I don't have to make a part 2. I have been to just about every library in the Tri-County area. I've been searching things online. I've been looking at records, archives. I have found a few things that I think might keep this mystery going. I'm really fully enveloped in this now. I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple of those now. This is the earliest article I could find referencing my great-grandfather. It just talks about how he helped some other towns, the mayor's kid. It sounds almost like he was possessed or something, and that my great-grandfather, after the doctors couldn't help him and the church couldn't help him, that he helped or he provided something that helped. This next article is basically my great-grandfather's obituary. I'll just let you take a look at it. You see both of these articles reference a group called the Psalms. I did a little bit more digging into that once I found those, so I had to go back around after finding stuff about my great-grandfather with this new lead to find if I could see anything about this group, and I did find a couple of things, so let me show you. Both articles are about some kind of festival they used to put on. It looks like it went on from the early 1920s through the 50s at some point. So apparently Psalms stands for Servants on a Mission, and it almost sounds like some kind of weird cult, or I don't know, just kind of Christian action group. I don't know what you want to call that. It seems they were active in the area until at least the 1950s, but I know from the stuff I found out about my great-grandfather that he was active doing the same kind of stuff well after that. Maybe he was the guy who kind of stayed behind. I don't know. I'm going to keep looking. If I find anything, if any of you know anything about this Psalms, Servants on a Mission, let me know. I'm really trying to figure this out here. It's kind of weird.
Ok, como dije en el video anterior, todo se ve bastante real porque está enseñando pruebas, lo cual lo hace aún más interesante. El siguiente TikTok lo subió el 27 de agosto y dice, ¿de dónde rayos salió esto? Se me hace que... ¿Se acuerdan que su abuela en la carta menciona a Froget? Que supongo que viene de frog, que es rana en inglés. Así que se me hace que esta es Froget.
Hell no. Hell the fuck no. Look at this friggin' horrifying haunted frog doll that my 3-year-old daughter just had all of a sudden. If you've been following, you know we just moved into a house we inherited from my grandmother. I don't know where the hell this thing came from. She just had it all of a sudden today, and I'm debating whether or not I should burn it. Why don't you guys let me know? Okay.
Bueno, no sé. O sea, sí es un poco creepy de repente encontrarte a tu hija con un muñeco que no sabes de dónde salió, sobre todo con todo lo que ha ido sucediendo en la casa. Me recuerda mucho a una de las escenas de la película de Amityville que más miedo me dio de toda la película, cuando la hija se encuentra a una muñeca y el sacerdote le dice a la mamá que a la niña que murió en esa casa la enterraron con esa muñeca. Me acuerdo que esa escena me traumó por mucho tiempo. No creo que en este caso se trate de algo así, pero sí da un poquito de miedo. El siguiente TikTok lo subió el 28 de agosto y dice, la muñeca ya no está.
So, a quick update. That terrifying frog doll that my daughter just had yesterday is gone now. It has vanished as mysteriously as it appeared. So, hooray! Nothing to worry about, right? Relief.
Ok, supongo que ya no va a tener que quemarla. El siguiente TikTok es del 1 de septiembre y dice: no me juzguen, acabo de heredar esta casa.
Hey, I haven't posted in a little while. Forgive my mess. You know, we're just moving in. But I showed you guys that weird frog doll that my 3-year-old just found. It disappeared, and this is the first time I'm seeing it again. I just realized it was what was down here on this chair, and I grabbed my phone to come and look at it. Definitely was not here before. My older daughter's at school. My 3-year-old is in the room. She was just with me. Shit. Holy shit. Just sitting here. Wonder what it's looking at. What's out here? Oh shit. Fucking frogs. A whole bunch of fucking frogs. I don't know if you can see them. Holy shit. There's like... Oh my god. That's weird. The pool is disgusting, I know. That's fucking weird as shit.
No sé si estoy loca, pero me dio un poco de ternura que estuviera viendo a las ranas del jardín. El siguiente TikTok también es del 1 de septiembre y dice: entrevista telefónica con un padre.
So I haven't really updated on my investigation into my great-grandfather. You know, just because it's been a lot of days of calling different churches around the state and being told that they don't know anything, because a lot of this stuff seems to have been from between the 50s to the 70s. Obviously, not a lot of people still working in these places were around back then. The ones that were even, the churches that were even around then. I did get this one really strange interaction on one of the churches. It's called St. Michael's. I'll just post the full call. I was recording all of them. This was the only one that was even worth showing. Okay, calling St. Michael's. It's about 84 miles away. But it's in his notebook. Father William.
St. Michael's, how can I help you?
Yeah, hey, I was told this was a good time to try and reach Father William. Is he available?
Of course, I'll transfer you now.
Thank you.
Hello, this is Father William.
Hi, my name is Alex. I was calling. I'm actually putting together an article about the churches in the area during the 60s and 70s. I know that you worked a lot with Father Edwards, your predecessor, who was very active during that time. Do you think I could ask you a couple questions? Maybe things he told you about, just to help me out.
Sure, yeah, that should be fine. Do you want to set up a meeting or something?
Well, I could just do it right now if you have the time. Would that be okay?
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
Okay, well, did Father Edwards ever talk about, exorcisms, or, like, the prevalence of exorcisms and things like that during that period?
No, we never talked about anything like that.
Okay, did he ever mention the name or anybody named Leopold Oldry? You ever heard that name, or did he talk about that person?
I'm sorry, I don't think this is a good idea. Have a nice day.
Well, hold on, wait a second. Okay. Now, I'm right that that's weird, right? That was a weird reaction. That was not just like, oh, I don't want to talk about this. There was something up there. So, like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to try to find some other way to chase some of this stuff up, and I'll keep updating.
Ok, no me gusta que ponga esa música de fondo, la pone muy fuerte, creo. Pero bueno, la llamada estuvo bastante extraña, parece que todo el mundo intenta evitar ese tema. El siguiente TikTok es del 3 de septiembre.
Okay, so, kind of materially small, but a potentially big update. I went to a local history museum, didn't know it existed. A really small place. Spoke with some of the people there. None of them wanted to appear on camera, so I'll just show you some of the video that I took right after speaking with them. Basically, they knew about my great-grandfather, they knew my grandmother, and I'll go ahead and cut to that for now. Okay, so this lady wouldn't appear on camera. This is just the display case, but she told me that my great-grandfather apparently worked with the indigenous people around here a lot, and she gave me the name and number of a friend of my grandmother who's still alive.
Ok, el siguiente TikTok también lo subió el 3 de septiembre.
I was watching my video about the shed, and I think there is a dead fairy in it.
Still lots of crap around here. I don't know.
I didn't notice it at all at the time. It's dark and scary as hell outside right now. I'll check it out in the morning.
¿Cómo? Yo sí la vi, pero parecía una mariposa normal, pero ahora que la enseña más de cerca, sí se ve como un cuerpecito gris en medio. El siguiente TikTok es del 4 de septiembre.
Okay, going into the shed to see if there's anything still out here. Okay, so this is where I saw it. And okay, does not, there's still some wings. They just look like butterfly wings. This is where it was. Okay, so I am on my way to try and get some of that information I talked to you guys about yesterday. I'm going to be hitting up all the old libraries and archives and things. Now, I also have spoken on the phone with my grandmother's friend. Her name is Cindy. I'm going to go to her house tomorrow to sit down and meet with her, so I will be interviewing her in person. She told me that she was a friend of my grandmother's for many years. Didn't have a personal relationship with my great-grandfather, but he was, just a friend of the father of her friend, so she did know him, and she'd spoken to him many years ago, obviously, but hopefully we'll find some cool stuff.
Ok, el siguiente TikTok también es del 4 de septiembre.
Okay, guys, I definitely found some stuff today. Starting to get a little bit freakier than I was anticipating, I'm starting to kind of have a little bit of doubts on whether or not I should keep pushing this. I just went to those same kind of libraries and was looking through old newspapers and stuff, searching for anything that had to do with the indigenous populations and anything that seemed creepy, and I found some stuff. I'll show you now. Okay, first it is two articles from around the same time, two different newspapers, about a witch that was apparently living out in the forests pretty close by to where I live, and I'm just going to present both of them. The first one actually has a picture. The second one has like an artist's rendition, but you'll see when you look at it. I'm going to post both of them. You can pause to look. Now, you probably noticed in the second article when they talk about the group coming together and taking care of the witch, the person that they spoke to in the article said to call him Leo. Now, my great-grandfather's name was Leopold. I will find out tomorrow from Cindy if he ever went by Leo. This next article is about, they say Wolfman, but it sounds like a freaking skinwalker. And they mention the SMs. So let's take... So I'm thinking that local SMs was some kind of mistake for Psalms, or maybe that's just another way people wrote it then. But it seems very likely. This forest here from the Wolfman thing is literally right outside my town. This is the forest that surrounds us. So like I said, this is some shit now, and I'm getting a little worried. I don't know. I'll get back to you guys soon.
Me parece demasiado interesante toda esta información que hasta ponían en los periódicos hace tanto tiempo. El siguiente TikTok es del 5 de septiembre y es la entrevista con Cindy, la amiga de su abuela.
Okay, I am here at Cindy's house. Gonna go in now and meet her and do a little interview. She said she didn't want to be directly on camera, so I'll hold it away from her face. Oh. Hello, Cindy?
Yes?
Oh, hey, okay. I'm Alex. We spoke on the phone. You said it'd be okay?
It's Alex.
Okay, it was nice to meet you.
It's you too.
Okay,
How
is
can I
that...
help you?
Can I come in to talk to you for a
Sure,
second?
come on in.
All right. Okay, Cindy, so how did you know my grandmother and great-grandfather?
Well, they lived next door to me for over 20 years.
Okay, so were you and her close?
Eventually, we were close. We would babysit for each other when we got older and things like that. I was at the house with her less than a week before she passed.
And what about my great-grandfather, Leopold?
First, he didn't like being called Leopold. He was Leo. We weren't close.
Do you remember anything about his work with the church?
You know, I swore to your grandmother that I would never talk about this stuff.
Do you think maybe she'd be okay with you telling me about it?
I never know all that much about it. But what I do know involves weird things. Things like haunted houses, ones that priests from the church couldn't fix. I know it sounds crazy.
Actually, it's kind of right in line with the kind of stuff I've been finding. Do you know anything about him, like, working with the local indigenous tribes?
He did work with some places. I remember being at the house occasionally. It seemed like they were working on something together.
Do you remember around when this was? This is all really great information you're giving me, but I also want to ask, do you know anything, you have anything strange about the house?
Oh, it's haunted.
Okay, what kind of experiences did you have there?
Let's see. A lot of shadows, voices, things moving on their own. They had this doll. They called it a frogette. And it would show up everywhere. Disappear for days at a time.
Did they ever say anything about all that kind of stuff?
Your grandmother thought a lot of it had to do with the stuff in the trunk. But your great-grandfather always said not to worry. That nothing there meant us any harm, even if it seemed to.
Did you ever experience anything in the backyard?
Some things were just too crazy to say out loud.
I'm sorry?
Big butterflies back there, huh?
I guess so.
I'm kind of tired. Do you think we could wrap this up?
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for meeting with me. I really appreciate it. Okay, so I got some pretty interesting tidbits there. I'll go through it a little bit more and, make a little bit of an accounting of the stuff that I found out. But, my biggest takeaway, Leo, my great-grandfather did go by Leo. She talked about the doll frogette, and, if you've seen these videos, I've already had to deal with that, so... I don't know, I've got a couple ideas of things that I might start chasing up this week.
Ok, pues ahí la señora básicamente mencionó lo de las hadas sin decir específicamente que eran hadas. Yo la verdad no suelo creer mucho en esos temas, me encantaría saber ustedes qué opinan, así que cuéntenme en los comentarios. El siguiente TikTok es del 8 de septiembre.
As someone who's been a skeptic basically all my adult life, but recent events have caused me to question this, I just want to know, to people who are skeptics like me, who pride themselves on being evidence-based, what kind of evidence would convince you that something supernatural existed? If it was real, what would you accept as evidence, actual scientific evidence of the supernatural? Reply to this if there's anything. And people who do just flat out believe in the paranormal, supernatural, whatever you want to call it, what do you consider to be reasonable evidence that you think that skeptics or scientists or whatever should consider viable?
Esta pregunta me parece demasiado interesante y me encantaría que ustedes me respondieran la misma pregunta en los comentarios. El siguiente TikTok es del 10 de septiembre.
Driving out here, this is the woods, the forest around my town. I got some information from somebody. I don't know how accurate it is. I'm going to find out. He said that my great-grandfather, was buried in a church that's kind of out here in the middle of nowhere. That it was his church, that he built it, and that is where he worshipped. And it's just this little weird church out here, so we'll see if it's true. We'll see what I find. Where my great-grandfather was buried. This was his church. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the place. It's a little bit strange because it does seem kind of upkept, even though it is old and hasn't seen a service in at least like 30 years, is what I've been told. It's raining right now, so I don't know. It's kind of like right on the edge of the woods, too. All boarded up. Back here. This is kind of interesting. This was the church he built. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's like an ancient looking old bell up in that tower, and this is like a nowhere area. It's just like in the middle of nowhere. Weirdly upkept for an abandoned place. Yeah, these doors were painted recently. Definitely. This is the one window with the little gap. I don't know if we can see anything in there. I don't know. This is the graveyard. There's a no trespassing sign. And I hate to be a bitch, but I've got 2 daughters, so I can't risk getting into any trouble at all. So I'm just gonna look from here. It doesn't look like there's that many plots. The ones furthest away look pretty old. Let me see. No trespassing private property. Zoom in a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Doubt we'll be able to see anything. So you can see nothing too crazy. I wasn't able to really get a good look at the graves. I couldn't get on the other side of the fence because it was just too thick. The foliage, the forest over there, I didn't really want to go through all that trouble. I might do it again, I don't know. The church was small, old church, but weirdly upkept. I don't know, nothing too crazy. But you know, just another little piece of this, so we'll see what else I can find.
Ok, me quedé con muchas ganas de que entrara. O sea, entiendo que no haya querido entrar, pero sí me hubiera gustado ver si ahí estaba la tumba de su bisabuelo. Aunque eso en realidad no hubiera cambiado mucho la historia. Solamente sabríamos que sí lo enterraron ahí, pero nada más. Entonces vamos a ver qué sigue. El siguiente TikTok lo subió el 11 de septiembre.
Okay, so this is where I placed down my great-grandfather's journals and some of the letters that he had written. I was just looking through them yesterday. You know, I have new context now. I was thinking maybe I could find something else out. Put them down here, went to bed. Been busy most of the day, came back and looked again, and there are just these keys. I have never seen these before. These were not here before last night. I did not put them here. I have no idea where they came from, so...
Ok, vamos a ver el siguiente, que es del 12 de septiembre.
Okay, I just heard a loud bang out here. It's the middle of the night. Sounded like it was coming from the kitchen. Hello? Holy shit. Hello? Somebody fucking here? What the fuck? Okay, so I just came out and saw this chair freaking slide by itself away from the table, and when I look at what was out on the table, what I definitely did not put out here, it is my great-grandfather's journal, his old letters, those keys I found, and a photo album that I had not even known was here. This looks like an old... really old family photo album. And then this is a picture of my grandmother, my great-grandfather's daughter. So I'm fucking freaking out right now. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have gone to that graveyard. I don't fucking know.
Ok, eso está bastante raro. Vamos a ver el último TikTok de este video que también subió el 12 de septiembre.
Okay, something I did not notice last night. There's the chair. Put the books and everything over there. But right over here, yeah, that's Frogette. Hadn't seen her for days. Like I said before, you know, sometimes my daughter's just playing with her, or she's just sitting somewhere and then she's gone. And then, you know, I don't know, I see her again days later. And now she's right here. Right next to where this all went down.
Ok, la verdad me gustaría que le preguntara a su hija sobre Frogette o la muñeca para ver qué es lo que la niña sabe de ella o si la ha visto hacer cosas o moverse o algo así. Creo que como sabemos los niños son mucho más sensibles a este tipo de cosas, así que a lo mejor tiene algo interesante que contar, aunque al mismo tiempo entiendo que no quiera meter mucho a sus hijas en estos temas, que a lo mejor puede hasta asustarlas. Pero pues vamos a ver qué pasa. Cuéntenme en los comentarios si quieren una tercera parte de este caso, porque todavía faltan muchos videos. Y pues espero que les haya gustado mucho el video. Si les gustó, no olviden darle like, suscribirse dando clic al botón rojo que está aquí abajito y a la campanita para que no se pierdan ningún video nuevo. Gracias por ver el video, les mando un beso enorme y nos vemos mañana. Bye.